you through the second block of this Bay Games programming. Well done to everyone who went through block 1 and did that fitness testing. If we just go back and have a look, remember we did the 5 kilometer run and the CrossFit baseline test. Some really cool results that came up in there, so well done to everyone. Hopefully you guys have had 4 weeks of training under your belt now, and we're now going to move on to the second block. So just going to quickly run through it. I hope this video will be a bit quicker this week. First of all, here's the date. So it's starting 31st of May. Focuses this time are in the warm-ups. We're going to have a look at getting a little bit deeper into mobility. Still continuing on with breathing patterns. You'll notice that the 90-90 breathing drills are in there now. Technique, we're going to have a look at continuing to work with positional work on the Olympic lifts. Those of you who came along to the Olympic lifting workshop with Bill and myself last week, hopefully you got something out of that. And we are going to introduce some skipping. And a lot of you already do a bit of skipping in the gym. This is a fantastic thing to do anyway. It's really, really good for your Achilles, your calves, areas that often kind of get neglected. And as soon as you start adding in any kind of volume with running, those areas can get a little bit sore. So this is going to help condition those, conditioning the increased running sort of intensity and volume that's going to come. But also in the Bay Games, there's likely to be some sort of skipping. Strength work, we have overhead stability as well. We're going to introduce the vertical pull. Okay, we had a little look at pull-ups a couple of weeks ago. There'll be a little bit more work involved with that, and any of my clients will know that they've got pull-ups in pretty much everyone in their programs at the moment. And then conditioning, of course, which is the main jam for this programming. We're going to have tempo cyclical aerobic work, and it's going to be below threshold. Excuse me. So what that means is we are still working sub-maximally, okay, but we are definitely working a lot closer to that threshold line, and we're going to work almost kind of in intervals. So you'll have higher intensity intervals, and then you'll back off and you'll repeat. Okay, so we're still trying to accumulate some volume, some tolerance, but now we're starting to push the intensity a little bit. So if we look through the program, the structure is exactly the same on block 1. In fact, it's the same on all the blocks. So you'll have 2 days of training, day 1, day 2, and then of course there's a swim program down the bottom, which I'll run through at the end. So if we have a look at day 1, you'll see this again. There's a specific warm up. Okay, so hip and shoulder mobilities, arm circles, 90-90 bear sits, those sort of things. Breathing drills. You've got open out lunges now, hamstring squats, the ATG lunges, push ups, banded pull downs, kneeling. Okay, and that's the having a look now at vertical pull. That's your first kind of introduction to it. With the power and technique, you'll see now that we've got some extra work in here, so that we're looking at a hang power snatch. The reps are low. There's not a lot of it. Okay, so we're just looking for really good quality movements. Barbell maybe slightly heavier, nothing too extreme. And then we've got skipping. Okay, so you've got single skips, and we're trying to aim to do this unbroken. Don't worry about doing double unders or anything funky. Literally just get used to that movement. And then at the end, we have this 2x10 pogo jumps with a double thigh tap. Okay, and that what we're doing there is we're starting to look at the timing for double unders. Sometimes the issue that people have when they try and do double unders is that they don't have the timing, and they just try and move their arms really fast, and it doesn't work, and it can be extremely frustrating. So this is a drill that will be done without a rope, and you'll just start to practice the timing, much in the same way we use the timing drill for the clean. We don't have a barbell for it. It's the same sort of principle. Okay, and then we move on to the strength. Okay, so now we're including some pull-up work. So it'll be like a superset here. So you'll go 3 by 40 meters overhead kettlebell carry. Okay, you can use 2 kettlebells for that. Okay, and you're keeping those shoulders set nice and strong. And that's going to be supersetted with 2 negative pull-ups. Okay, so what I want you to do here, you'll jump up, get your chin over the bar, keeping the body long and strong. Okay, I don't want the knees to tuck up. You'll keep the body nice and long, core switched on, and you'll slowly lower yourself back down to full extension. Okay, then you'll get back on your box or your plate, and you'll boost yourself up over the bar, and you'll do that again. All right, that'll be two reps. It should take you between 3 and 5 seconds to get back down. Okay, if you can't hold your weight and you just drop, use a band. Now that as you see, as you go through the weeks, that sort of progresses in volume. Okay, now, like I said in the last video, it's totally up to you. If you're doing the stuff with your coach or in your own training, then you don't need to incorporate it, and you can literally just pick out what you need to do. You may decide, I'm already doing pull-ups in my own programming, so I'll just do the overhead stuff. That's totally fine. You don't need to do more. All right, and then we move on to the aerobic work, which is now at a tempo, like I said before. So, week number 1, you are going to do 5 minutes of work at 70% effort. Okay, so you'll notice that's like a 7 RPE. It is not all out. Okay, and then you will have 2 minutes at 40% effort, which is recovery. Okay, it's an active recovery, and you'll do 3 repeats of this. Now you can pick your poison. You can run, you can ride, you can row, you can ski, you can swim, you can jumble it up if you're in the gym. Okay, you can mix between the rower and the ski and the airdyne. It's totally fine. If you're running, I like to do this sort of stuff on a field rather than the road. So I like to go to an AFL ground or something like that where you can just sort of get into a zone. But that's my personal preference. Totally up to you. And you'll notice here as we move sort of through the weeks, okay, you've got 4 minutes now, so it's a shorter tempo, but it's slightly harder. Okay, so and then you've still got your 2 minutes, and you've got 4 repeats. So you're starting to accumulate higher intensity, a little bit more volume. This one here, okay, same thing, pick your poison. You've got 3 minutes, okay, and now you're sitting right on that line. So you're sitting right on the line of being very uncomfortable. So you should still be in a rhythm, okay, it's not a sprint. You should still be able to breathe, but it's right on the line of like, oh, I'm not sure if I can sustain this, okay. Once you've done the 3 minutes, you then have 5 minutes at 40% effort, okay, so it's a long time, and that's basically to allow close to a full, well, it won't be a full recovery, but to allow a really good recovery, okay? You'll do 4 repeats of that, okay? And then you will do 2 blocks of it, okay? So that is a big session, very big session. And then week 4, similar, okay? But it's shorter, so it's only 2 minutes now, 75% effort, so not quite all out like that, but you are running at going at a pretty good clip. You only get 1 minute of recovery on this one here, okay? You'll do 5 repeats of that, and then you'll do 2 blocks of that with a 5 minute gap in between those blocks. Sorry, I should have said there's a 5 minute gap in between those blocks here. Okay, so those two there, that one in particular, and this one as well, they're quite big sessions. Okay, so I would do them on my own. So if you've got a day off from the gym, I would do those sessions in there. All right, so just the notes again, you've got tempo work is sustainable. Okay, so you should not, for instance, whereas at this one here, you shouldn't be running all out for 1 minute and then just hitting the wall and having to slow down to a shuffle for that last 2 minutes. Okay, you should be able to maintain a really good speed. If you've got a heart rate monitor, this is where these come really, really, really handy. You should be able to maintain intensity for that 3 minute period. Good technique, again, trying to focus on your breathing and choose a modality that's going to allow this. Okay, if you are not a good runner and you go into sort of like a hyperventilation type situation, then pick something that's going to allow you to breathe. So the airdyne is always a fantastic option for this sort of stuff. Most people don't need to worry too much about their technique, and they can just get it done. If you've got injuries, if you've got ankle, knee pain, hip pain, all that sort of stuff, pick something that's not going to beat you up. So that, again, the airdyne's normally a really good option. If you're happy in the pool is another good option. All right, day 2, same warm up. Okay, we go to power clean instead of the snatch. You got skips and you got double unders. The strength, you've got a lat pull down, 3x10, and then you've got overhead walking lunges. Okay, so there's a couple of ways you can do this. You can hold very light kettlebells or dumbbells directly above your head, or you can hold a barbell above your head. It doesn't really matter. I find the kettlebells and dumbbells actually a little bit harder because you can't. It's easier to sort of lock in, I think, with the bar, but I'm not too fussed which one you do. And here we go again. So day 2, again, you're picking your poison. You've got 7 minutes at 70% effort, and you've got 3 minutes of recovery, and you've got 3 repeats of that. Okay. Then we go to 6 minutes, 2 minutes of 40%. You've got 4 repeats. Okay, 5 minutes at a good hard effort with 1 minute, 1 minute recoveries and 4 repeats. And then we go back to our second test in this last block here. Okay, so what day is that? The 21st of June. Oh, I'm in New Zealand, so I won't be there for that. Okay, but you'll have a 5 kilometer aerobic test. I've spelled aerobic wrong. Dear me. All right. Okay, again, same notes. You've got sustainable. It is sustainable. You're focusing on form and your speed and your breathing. Okay, swimming. Okay, so very, very similar to the last block. It's just slightly increase in volume. Okay, so now looking at 700 meter efforts. Now you've had a month of swimming, hopefully, if you've been doing it. So this should be still quite achievable, and the advanced swim is going up to 1600 meters. Okay, the drills, the structure's the same. You'll have a warm up in here. Please try and mix your strokes up. If you just do freestyle, you will get sore. What be here? So you got freestyle technique work here, 50 meters, nice and slow, focusing on your technique. The advanced guys should be sweet with all this sort of stuff. And we have some, again, it's just basically increasing the volume from the last block. Okay. All right, so that is it. So if you have any questions or concerns, then please come and talk to me. This is a hard block. The tempo work is hard and the volume's quite high. If you're not comfortable with it or you want to change it or anything, please feel free to come and hit me up. There's a million ways to skin a cat, so to speak, so we can change this stuff to suit you. That's about it from me, guys. Reach out on email in the gym or on social media. Take care.